to thestockmanager.com. I'm your stockmanager Brian Johnson, and confirmation today as the bulls continued their march to the upside. So for those of you that were even in the least bit curious about whether or not this was it, are we going to go up, or are we going to go down, let your fears be qualmed. Things are good today. Good confirmation, both on the charts in front of you and in the internals behind the scenes. So still pretty strong in the internals. Gotta say that we are a bit stretched, but doesn't matter. Point being is we are up. We're up 2 days in a row here, and two very, very strong moves. So yes, we are a bit extended. Might be looking for a pullback. Wouldn't actually surprise me to see us sneak a little bit more upwards tomorrow. Maybe even kind of slowly wind our way into the weekend. Wouldn't surprise me in the least bit. A pullback is coming, but for the time being, guys, it's only going to be a pullback. We can, I would say at this point, expect to see higher prices in the not so distant future and into the Christmas season. Start looking at your stocks. Start stacking up. I mentioned yesterday to you guys that you need to start looking for fundamentally strong stocks. You need to start looking for trades that will be of that'll be strong coming into the holiday season. One of those trades was one I gave to my newsletter subscribers. I think it was last week, and that was Starbucks. And Starbucks was a buy over 31 or over 31.50 depending on your risk, and you can see we're still doing very, very well. So those people that were with the newsletter got to see this particular trade. There's been quite a few other ones, but this one was just brought to my attention about 5 seconds ago by a guy who said, just writing to say thanks for the call. And anyway, he did very well on this trade. Call was up over 31 or up over 31.50. We did do very, very well in this trade. There's still a little bit to go, getting a little bit extended in this part. But for those of you that are curious about what the newsletter offers, a lot more lines, a lot more in-depth analysis, and stocks to watch, such as this. So when the markets are going nowhere, you have something to watch and trade. All of them based and run through the criteria that I set for myself when I look for my own stocks. So think about it, $15 a month. It's a pretty good deal. I know Christmas is coming, but maybe you can give yourself an early Christmas present. Try it out. Dow on a 60, here we are. We are up again today, over 106 points. As you can see on a daily, that gives us 2 days up in a row. Very good days right here as well. I like that. I like it a lot. On any kind of a pullback, look to see if this 20-day holds. That is what we will be watching on the pullback itself. Eventually, if not tomorrow, eventually I do expect to not only test, but to break these highs right here. So tomorrow, if we get any further push up, watch closely in this 11,451 area. NASDAQ 60-minute was up again today as well, creeping back up and over that 2150 area a couple days, then saw it get up and over 2180, which was my next level to watch. Got up and over, didn't accelerate past it, but it was already kind of pretty extended at the time, up 22 points a day. That's 1% coming into the holiday season. No big surprise that the NASDAQ is starting to rise with the coming of the new year. So here we are. I had been kind of watching this pullback, well, whatever you want to call it. It was really just a pullback in the short term, and saw it as kind of a bear flag. We're not necessarily out of it yet, but we get back above this area, and I'm going to kind of call it a broken formation at that point for sure. So any further move to the upside, watch that 2200 level on the NDX. That would be another level to start looking at for long. However, I'm not sure I would take that one, to be quite honest, in the next day or two. I might go ahead and wait for the pullback, then look to catch it later on. NDX weekly, you can still see hanging in there very, very, very nicely. Let's see where it closes. We've got 1 day left, but I think it's going to be somewhere up in this area, maybe back here at the 2160-ish level, 2170-ish level or so. We'll just see what the markets have planned. But overall, still a very, very bearish or bullish look, as it has been for the last few weeks. SPX 60-minute as well, looking very, very good today. I had made mention to my subscribers in an intraday email that we were a bit extended and to really, really watch carefully this 1220 to 1225 area and to move their stops up if they were long. Hope a lot of them did that. If they stayed long overnight, we will of course be watching to see if we get any kind of a hit up in this area tomorrow, 1225 to 1227. So this area here is one to watch very, very carefully coming into the next day or so. This here, by the way, guys, this is a wave 3. If you're an Elliott wave guy, this is a wave 3, and there's never, you never know where these things are going to end. They end up being parabolic in most cases, and they just carry on and on and on and on. And we've seen that time and time again in the past with these wave 3s. There's no sense in trying to predict where they'll top. I'm going to try to give you some basic ideas of where it might go, but I can't for sure. I mean, I'm certainly not going to sit here and tell you that it will not break this overhead line. These wave 3s they have a mind of their own. You just let them go. Just run with them. Catch them and run with them. That's the time to do it. Over this 1200 mark, a beautiful trade. If you've been in this thing or watching my videos, you caught this on the break yesterday, and over 1200 was your trade. You're up 20 points already. If you're holding on till tomorrow, just move your stops and keep watching that 1220, 1225, 1220, 1227 area. SPX daily as well, coming up and over this little area of overhead resistance, more or less weaker overhead resistance. Should have made that a little thinner line. But watching, of course, that 1227 as indicative of what I've been talking about here. You can see a little consolidation we had right here. Once we got that break, a big move by the markets. Weekly looking very, very good too. Notice 1, 2, 3 weeks of holding that 200 week, and this week it launched itself hard off of that moving average, moving itself right back up towards the top. Let's see where that closes as of tomorrow. VIX, of course, then way down at 9% today, coming back, I would say, a little bit more of a push. I really am almost looking for another push up tomorrow to get this VIX back down into this area here. That might, it'll take us right back to a little bit of a lower support, and then might give it a good springboard for a pullback. The VIX then can move upwards as the markets just pull back. From a weekly too, coming back down, you can see we are at the blue line on a weekly, but holding now as support. That's why I want to be watching that over the next day or so. Apple on a 60-minute was back into rare form, down below this today, but not holding for long as we saw the big gap up today and a run to the upside. Still watching that 320 area on Apple. Daily, same type of thing. You can see us come up, touch. Where was the high? 319, $1 short of that 320-ish area, and holding very beautifully. Same price as this back here. So 319 over here, 319 over here. Now, if you want to try to make a head and shoulders pattern out of that, by all means have at it, but I'm not a real big one on the head and shoulders patterns. Most of the time I don't really actually see them. I don't think they're a very high probability pattern. Let me just put it to you that way. So, but it is what it is. It could be we'd have to see a pretty drastic drop in Apple coming into Christmas, which I'm not expecting so much, before that would happen. But if it pulls back, watch this 312 mark for a hold of the 20-day. Apple weekly, same thing. I've been talking about this very, very, very bullish up here as it holds this area. Looks like it might want to try to break that. That might have to wait till next week, but watch it closely tomorrow for a breakup over 320 or 321. FAS 60-minute got the breaks we were looking for. As you can see here, a gap up to start the day and a very nice break up and over. We got 22 yesterday. And over 22 was a 75, 23, even over the 20-day. Any one of these points gave you a great entry for the long side. Now above you, 24.94, I would be looking at that as a stopping pattern. So if you take this long tomorrow morning and it gets back up into the 24.90-ish area, be moving your stops or taking profits. FAZ 60 minutes, same thing, down. Doobie-doo down as the banks make a huge recovery today. That's what we were looking for. I told you, banks are going to have to come along. Eventually they did. Now look where we're at. Holiday cheer for everyone. So we can kind of look at this as a big drop down. We got that move below these areas I've been talking about. Below 1160, took you down to $11, giving you a good 60-cent trade on this. Also below the 20-day moving average, which we spoke of yesterday. So below the 1160-ish area was a very good chance, or 1150, either one, to take it to the short side, giving you 50, 60 cents in profits. Stick around, holiday cheer for everybody. Let's make some money in these markets while they're moving. coming into Christmas, a lot of times it gets a little bit more easy to read the charts. So in that manner, we should be able to follow along and make some pretty good profits coming into Christmas, which might help with those January credit card bills. All right, see you again tomorrow. Bye.